the expectations in Germany are quite unique. So I think it takes a certain preparation, like I would say, unique preparation needed for German markets, and I think I'm like I was saying, I'm grateful that I was able to prepare for that.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to a new interview today with one of our former coaches, Rahul. Hey, Rahul, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm also very good. Thanks for asking. Before we start the interview, let me shortly introduce myself. My name is Tamu. I'm managing partner of Find a Job in Germany. And yeah, we help tech and IT professionals to find jobs in Germany. Before we start, Prost.
Cheers.
Yeah, Raul and myself, we meet in a bar in Friedrichshain in Berlin. This is where you live now, is that right?
That's right. I'm like about 10 minutes away from here. Like, it's basically like 2 stops on a tram ride. So it's been pretty good so far. Like, yeah.
Awesome. Maybe before we talk about how you came to Germany and why, please shortly introduce yourself. Maybe what have you been working on, where are you from, and so on.
I'm Rahul. I have about 12 years of experience, like, been doing full stack and primarily focused on back-end engineering with Java ecosystem. At the moment, like, I'm working with Flixbus and I'm working there as a back-end engineer. Yeah. There's also a little bit of PHP. Yeah.
PHP as well. All right. And you are from India originally, right? Chennai, correct?
Correct.
Correct. But you have not been working in India all your life, right? Tell us a little bit how your career went and so on.
Sure. So most of my career was based in the US. I was in the US for like more than 12 years and primarily with American Express for like close to like 7 years. And I mean, COVID happened, so I decided to move back to India. But I noticed like, not much of a diverse culture there. I have some family in within Europe, and I decided like I don't want to like live as far as the US. So I wanted to be somewhere in the middle, and like thought I'll give Germany a try, and that's how I got here.
How long is the flight from Chennai to Berlin?
It's about 12 hours, like including the transit and everything. So I came via Frankfurt, and there was a 1 hour wait time there, and then like came here. Yeah.
Tell us, why did you think coming to Germany is the right thing to do for you?
Like I was saying, my primary reason is I want to experience diverse culture, and also Germany is a great place to settle down. Like education is free here. I have two very young kids, and I feel like this is a great place to settle down. And I also resonate with a lot of cultural values here and personal interests. So, yeah.
Awesome, cool. Um, Tell us, how was the process for you? We met, I think, in June. We met for the first time. We got in touch. We started the program. You got an offer quite fast. I think 2 months later, you had an offer in August, and you came here. Then, in the end of October, you started working 1st of November. If you look back, what would you say? How was the process for you?
Let me give you a little bit of idea. Like before the process began, like I did apply across, like and I was not getting any interviews at all, and so I happened to like go through an ad about you guys, like on LinkedIn, and I decided like I'll move on with it, and
What was your first thought when you saw the ad?
I really had no expectations. I was just getting into a new venture. So I thought like, I might as well give it a try because clearly I wasn't getting any interview calls. Companies weren't giving me much information on why they weren't picking my resume. So I was a bit upset. And then the first thing as a part of the process that we had like was to get my resume like ready, and I think that was a game changer. Um, right after find a job in Germany helped me with my resume. I was able to get all sorts of like interview offer, and luckily enough, like almost like with every company I applied for, like I was able to get an interview.
How many interviews did you had altogether?
I would say about 4 or 5. I mean, I applied to like some 10 jobs, like in 10 companies in total, and I had like 5 interview calls.
Awesome.
Also, the thing is, it was intentional that I took a break from applying for more companies, because I wanted to make sure that I'm able to handle like the amount of interviews I get.
Exactly. That's also what we recommend. If you have too many interviews at the same time, it's just overwhelming, and usually you cannot focus on the tech rounds and on the first interview rounds and so on. So it makes sense if you have 4 or 5 interviews going on at the same time, focus on them and make them count like you did. And how were the interview rounds for you?
Most of the companies had a very similar pattern. Like some of them, I mean, initially it starts with the recruiter, who basically asks a few questions to know what my background is, and then they talk a little bit about the position that I'm applying for, and then it moves on to technical round.
First, was the first one? Did you? Is it the same in India? Like,
Yeah, most of my experience was in the US. In the US, yes, recruiter, I think, applies the first filter in terms of they try to gauge like whether I have the right background or the right qualification to make up for the position. So that was pretty much like I would say that's in common. But then what happens next is slightly different. Like a lot of companies here give you take-home assignments, or there is one. They say it's not technical, but then generally somebody from a technical background, come in, have a conversation. Like they assess both culture fit questions, and also they do ask some questions on technical background, just to see whether I check all the check boxes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And how many rounds were that in total?
With Flix, I would say apart from speaking to the recruiter, there was one introduction round, which was like I was saying, they gauge my background, and then there were some culture fit questions in that. Then the next round was very technical. So the way it worked was they gave me an assignment. Like basically, the link opens 24 hours before the actual interview with the person. So I would have to. They would give me a coding assignment, and I'll have to basically fulfill all the criteria, based on that coding assignment. And then the next day, I meet with the engineers on the team, and they ask me over certain choices I made in terms of like why I did this, and they would also give me scenarios like if they were to like make slight changes to, or add on features, like how I would go about doing it.
Awesome. And regarding the tech rounds, what would you say are the most, maybe the one or two most important things you need to look out for?
I think first I would start with the requirement for the job. It's very important to note what they are asking for that particular position, because if you understand that properly, I think by itself is a preparation for the technical round, because you have a certain idea that most of the questions are going to come around the role description. So I think that's what happened. Like I focused on that, and then also based on the take-home assignment, like I kind of guessed like the kind of features they might ask me to implement like during the interview itself. So I was prepared, like, so I didn't just stop with the interview assignment. I went on to like see if I just put myself in the interviewer's shoe and ask myself like what else could I possibly ask the applicant. So
And hard coding, what would you say when you had to write code? What is important?
it's very important to also, I mean, when it's a take-home assignment, like you have a lot of time to actually look up the internet, and I really recommend like doing so, because when somebody gives you enough time to like solve a problem, it's best you go with the best solution, like the most optimal solution. So I did like research a little bit like during those hours. I was able to like quickly finish it, but then I took some time to polish my code. So I looked up like all the possible ways to like optimize my code, and I also spent some extra time on you know um, thinking of all possible like modifications I could make.
Okay, perfect. Just one or two sentences maybe about cultural rounds, culture fit rounds. What would you say is important when that happens?
So let me start with a note of gratitude. I'm very, very, very thankful to find a job in Germany for that. Because I had several mock interviews to understand German culture and like be able to answer. So because I took the effort to like go through or like because I had the opportunity to go through several mock interviews, I had a lot of answers prepared in my head. And surprisingly enough, like the 3 or 4 interviews that I had, like there were a lot of commonalities between like the culture fit questions, and I was kind of prepared for it. And I think the expectations in Germany are quite unique. So I think it takes a certain preparation, like I would say, unique preparation needed for German markets. And I think am like I was saying, I'm grateful that I was able to prepare for that.
Great. Thank you very much. Why Germany and not the US? A lot of people in India, especially, want to go to the US. So why do you? I mean, you experience both now. Germany not too long, but why do you think Germany is better?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I spent 12 years in the US. I am really not at a position to like, even say Germany is better. I had personal reasons. I didn't want to like live as far as the US. I wanted to be somewhere close to my original country, like my home, like which is in India. So I thought like Germany is somewhere midway, and also I heard a lot about German culture. Like especially I'm a beer lover. Like I hear I can drink beers like on the streets.
How
Like
do you like the Berliner?
it's pretty nice. It's awesome. So a lot of other personal reasons too, and I feel like and so far from what I've experienced since I got here, it's just like whatever I heard. Like I'm having a good time here.
Okay, perfect. Maybe we're going to speak about working and living in Germany in the second part of our interview. But just to come back to that topic, what would you say are, in your opinion, what are the pros to move to the US and work there as a software developer from India, and what are the pros and cons moving to Germany and working here?
Both US and Germany offer like diverse work culture. Especially in Berlin, like I see, at least in my current office right now, like most people are from like different parts of the world, and I really enjoy that because I feel like real collaboration happens when you take things from different minds. So I was very particular about that. Unfortunately, in India, I couldn't like get that experience. And also, I would say about the US, like one thing I should give credit to moving to the US is that I don't think any country can offer like that many job opportunities. There are so many job opportunities there. If that's so, but then from what I hear, Germany offers job security. So, and also, let's not forget there's free education here. So, if you're moving in with a family, I would recommend like moving to Germany.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I think we covered a lot already. We're going to do a second part as well. Is there anything we forgot about the recruiting process, interview process? Anything you wanted to add?
I mean, the process didn't end with just the interview part of things and getting a job. You guys also helped me with like things around like what should I do like when I first move in here on day one, like and how am I supposed to like fit into the culture, and also even things with like one might think it's simple but it's not, there's a lot of bureaucracy in Germany, and there were a lot of guidelines that Find a Job in Germany provided me, like for instance like information on like where I should look for housing, opening a bank account and so forth. So it's been truly an all-round experience. So thank you for that.
Thanks a lot, Rahul. Pleasure. And we're going to stay in touch. Maybe we do a follow-up in a year from now and see how it has been for you. But let's see. Yeah.
I look forward to
Yeah,
that.
many things. Yeah, if you're also a software engineer, if you want to work in Germany, if you're working in tech and IT in general, get in touch with us. Have a look at our video training. You find that below the video. Watch this video to understand how we work, and then book a get-to-know call with us. We're going to assess your skills, and if we think you have good chances of landing a job in Germany, we're going to work with you, and usually it takes 2 to 3 months to get an offer. And yeah, that's basically it. Thanks again. See you soon. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye and Prost.
Cheers.